Hello, and welcome back to another Yort's Martial Arts Journal. I appreciate y'all sticking by and watching this. It's kind of strange, but I like being able to be accountable to y'all. So, first going to start off with the Toby of the week that I am wearing from class this evening. They got little birds on them. They're gray with a blue line and stripe, and they got white and blue birds on them with a white outlining on them. It's nice. My favorite. Not my favorite, actually. But I did get a whole bunch of Toby from Sensei this week, so y'all will see those in the times to come. Get pumped. More Toby. So, class went well this week. I was able to make my Wednesday class, which is something I have a really hard time doing because it's so late. I actually arrived there at 8:15, which was the original time before coronavirus. But now, since coronavirus has happened, or since about a year now, they want half an hour to clean the area and vacate everyone before we come in for our class. And it had been so long since I had gotten to a really solid Wednesday class that I had forgotten that it was 8:45. So I show up at 8:15, confused, looking around, and I wait a couple minutes, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's my fault. So that was fun. But I gotta have a good class. If you want to hear more about that class in particular and what happened with that, I'll put a link into the Sword Buddies, which is a podcast that I do with my best friend Justin on another channel that we do, Beckons the Void. It was a good class. Friday, Saturday were good. Sunday, which is today, which is when I'm recording this. So there's a specific movement at the end of every waza, every technique that we do called Chiburi, which is just a lot of people, and in media, it's fantasized by flicking all the blood off of the blade, and it's really overdone and extravagant, but it's really not that big of a movement depending on which one you do. But it's just that flicking of that representation of cleaning the blood off. Because if you really wanted to clean the blood off, you would need more than just that flick. But if you're in the middle of a fight, you might have to just put it right back away. So, one thing that's very difficult to do that from a sitting position is to get it over your right knee, which is typically it's going to be up, so you can have a stable footing to cut from. So you have to go from there, and your arm is right next to the knee. So you have to kind of come up and around it. So it's not just you can't just pick it up and put it over the knee. You have to push with the base of your thumb around, around the knee. If you just put your right hand in between your legs, think about pushing with the base of your thumb over that knee. That's how you have to kind of do that to get it away so you don't get caught any of your clothing. And I've actually gotten that caught on my clothing during a test once. That was fun. I need to quicken the time between some of my preparations to cut. What I've been doing in some waza is that I have been, I guess I'd be over exaggerating the movement a bit up, which is actually adding seconds rather than taking away seconds between the cuts and getting the sword out of the saya and into the enemy. Let's see what else I got. I need to review my sword parts. There's 38 that I need to have memorized for a test whenever we test again. There's 38 that I need memorized. There's a million more that I just should know to be able to talk about the katana. At one point, we're going to have a folding class, you and I, about some of this stuff. Because I need to review how to fold my hakama, which are my... And also my gi, my keko gis that I have. I need to review how to fold them. I know I mentioned it earlier, or something that I'm continuing to work on, but one thing that I'm really noticing through this class, or from this class in particular, is just having to push through my legs, really getting that that purchase from my big toe when you're pushing through your leg, and it's you're getting that power and torque from the ground, from your stance. Going up and down, just straight up and down, I need to practice that more. And my lunges in general, my distance on my lunges, I think, is the biggest problem. Because again, from my European fencing training, I take very big lunges. I take a lot of space. But in this, I need to be consistent, and I need to be disciplined on the smaller amount of distance that I need to take with this, because it's really only 2 foot lengths between 2 to 3 foot lengths at its largest cuts. So I really gotta focus on that. I gotta get that in order. What else? So, in our advanced sitting forms, the Tatahisa sitting forms, after you've returned the sword to the scabbard, to the saya, there is an action you perform, and it's a very advanced way of sitting, so you gotta warm up those knees. I'm going to have to demonstrate at some point. I'm going to put a demonstration somewhere in the playlist so y'all can see, but there's 2 ways of doing it. We call it the 21st and the 22nd way of doing it, and that's in reference to the 21st and 22nd soke of our martial art. Because when they took over, they would they both had different ways of seeing how far the enemy was, and this kind of or I guess not in this situation for the feet, but for at least for the cuts in some areas, they're different. But for this feet return, for this feet return, there's either, if my feet are out here, there's either here, a big circle back here, and then this foot comes over here, and then we go back, or it's here, small circle, and then the knee gets pushed out, and this comes back. It's kind of hard to demonstrate with the hands, because it's not meant for the hands, so I'm going to have to do this, sitting down somewhere for y'all, but the larger circle is a lot more. The larger circle is better used for floors that are harder to move around on, like carpet. Or the larger circle is better to move around on, like a carpet or floors that kind of give that pull and tug. And the smaller circle is better for like laminate floors, tile, cork. We have cork at our studio. So it's situational depending on which one you use. Just like I was saying earlier, situational, how far they are, which kind of style, and your feet and hand placement. Not really hand placement, I guess feet. It's mainly feet, because it goes by how far away Teki is. If Teki is farther, you need a longer purchase, so you have to move on the heel, so you're closer to them, or you take a bigger step. Whereas if they're closer, you'll turn on the ball of your foot in some waza, so you can make the distance there, because they're probably a lot closer. But those are the thoughts that I've been wrestling with from this class in this past week. So I appreciate y'all tuning in and listening to me rant. I know it's really disjointed and kind of strange and difficult to understand because I'm just throwing things at you. But you know what? We're going to have a sword test and we're going to fix that. So study up. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.